response entity. Response entity. Try developing a new controller. I'm choosing hello controller. Guys, let us see response entity. Everybody, observe service one. We are returning response entity by choosing success as a message and 200 with OK as a status. Through response entity, three things can be returned as a one unit. Three things. One is a message, second one is a status, third one is headers. You will come to know what are the headers. It is always advisable to use response entity while returning anything from the REST API to the client. Use response entity. It is like a very convenient to store the message, to specify the status, and even to specify some headers. Now here we are creating an object to response entity by choosing message and status. Message and status. Let us give a call to service one. Let me restart. Response entity always advisable. You are storing data in the response entity. Not only message, you can configure status code, you can configure some response headers. Service 1, click on send. You can see 200 OK and success. From now onwards, try using response entity. Don't return string straight away. Don't return array list straight away. Don't return person object straight away. Store that string object or array list object or person object inside a response entity. Return that response entity. If response entity is returning, you can specify status code. We are using new operator to create an object to response entity. We are using a constructor which takes 2 arguments. First argument is a success message. Second argument is a status code. Let us move to the service 2. It is one and the same of service 1, but here array list object. Not the string object, array list object. Storing array list object inside a response entity while creating an object to response entity, choosing first argument as a array list, second argument as a status. Give a call to service 2. You can see. While returning a result, try returning through response entity object. Response entity object. Come to the service 3. Create a person object, store first name and last name. This is what our person object. Don't return person object alone. Don't return person object independently. Store that person object in the entity object along with the status code. Person object storing inside entity object along with the entity code, status code. Response entity. Try running. Control F11. Sorry. Let's give a call to service 3. How it won't start. Already it is starting. You can see. Come to the service 4. Service 4 receiving one path variable. Service 4 receiving one path variable. If path variable is less than or equal to 0, we are choosing a status as a bad request. Else, we are printing the proper message. You can see the importance of status code. It is receiving age value. Nobody's age value is a 0 or less than 0. Nobody's age value is 0 or less than 0. Nobody's age value 0 or less than 0. Very simple. Give a call to service 4. You can see the different status. I am calling service 4 with a age value as 0. Come on. Click on set. Check it out in the bottom. You can see 400 bad request. If input is not proper, you will be getting 400 bad requests. Let us supply age value. Instead of 0, let me go for 1. Click on set. Come to the bottom. You are getting a 200, okay? Your age is 1. Please observe, we are setting a bad request if something is going wrong. We are setting a OK status if everything is correct. This is very, very important. It's one of the advantage with respect to response entity. Response entity. Come to the service 5. Come on. Let me choose 2021. The current year is 2021. Supply year of pass, year of birth. Just to go through service 5. Guys, here we are calculating age. To calculate the age, whatever year of birth you are supplying, it should be before current year. Year of birth should be before current year. If you are supplying year of birth as a greater than current year, it is not a correct input, is not a proper. You can raise a bad request. Come on. You need to supply one path variable that should be your birth year. Birth year. If at all you are supplying birth year as greater than current year, then it is a wrong. Let us see. Guys, service 5. Assume your year of birth is 2023. Year of birth 2023. Definitely it's not a valid. Input is not a proper. Bad request. Assume you are supplying a proper year of birth. Let us consider 2015. Click on send. What is the age? Your age is 5. It is taking 2020 only. We modify to 2021. Afterwards, we didn't restart. Let me restart. Now you can make a request to the same. Guys, click on set. Come to the bottom. Okay. Here is the change required. Age calculating simple formula 2021 minus year of birth. Click on send. Now you can see 6. Come to the next service. We are using, guys, the same service instead of constructor static method. Method name itself telling what is the status. You can use either constructor or static method. In the response entity, static methods widely using because of you can specify static method very easily in the return statement itself. Static methods are using very widely. through bad request, through OK. See here we don't require to supply the status. Status is internally identified through method name. Through method name itself, we are able to get the status. Come on. Let us give a call to service 6. Let's go for 2025. You will be getting a bad request. Depending on your requirement, depending on your convenience, you can choose either constructed or static method. You can see the importance of static method in the written statement itself. Easily we are defining response entity with a OK status and the body as hello to all inside a H1. So very frequently using this approach. Come on. You can create a response entity object through a static method. If it is a static method, you are specifying the status code through method name itself. Status code through method name. Body. Give a call to service 7. Response entity, very important. Come to the service 8. Not only status and the body, not only status and body, you can also set header. You can also set a header. Not only status, not only body, you can also set a header. Content hyphen type is a response header. Please remember, in any browser based requests, server can specify what is the content type. It is one of the response header. Response header content type. Content hyphen type is a name of the response header. You are telling to the browser like, consider my response as a plain text. Consider my response as a plain text. Consider my response as plain text. Headers are very, very important. Response headers. Let's give a call to service 8. Output is considering as a plain text. That is why H1 tags are displaying. Come to the service 9. Again we are setting a response header. Header name is content hyphen type with a text slash HTML. This output is HTML output. Give a call to service 9. Guys, response headers are very important. Come to the bottom. We are still seeing the same output. You can access from the browser address bar. You can see the difference. If you go to the service 8, you can see response headers are very, very important. Come to the 10th service, everybody. Two headers we are setting here. Any number of headers you can set. Headers are mainly for giving an instruction to the browser. Headers are mainly for giving an instruction to the browser. Giving an instruction to the browser. Telling something about a response to the browser. Telling something about the response to the browser. We are providing two information to the browser. One is content type. Second one is refresh after 4 seconds. Now browser will be automatically making a request after 4 seconds. Auto refresh. Please give a call to service tab. Initially counter is 0. Afterwards counter is becoming 1. Printing that counter. After 4 seconds, automatically browser making a call because of this response header. You are telling to the browser, please call me back after 4 seconds. You have to make a call after 4 seconds. This type of information, our REST web service giving a information to the browser. Give a call to service 10 from the browser. After 4 seconds, automatically, without our user intervention, browser automatically making a call. In case of cricket score, automatically it is updated without our refresh, without user intervention. Refresh is one of the response header. If web service sending that refresh response header, then browser will be automatically making a call after specified number of milliseconds. After specified number of milliseconds automatically. It's very important, guys. Refresh. Service 11 also same. In the service 11, what we are doing is, guys, is separate HTTP header object is creating. You can create a HTTP headers object. You can store all the headers one by one. HTTP headers object. Store all the headers one by one. We are storing all the headers one by one. We are storing all the headers one by one. Then supply that headers as a second argument to the constructor. Already we have seen a constructor which takes two arguments, response body and status code. There is another constructor which takes three arguments, response body, header subject, response body, header subject, status code. All headers are storing in the headers object, then supplying that as a second argument. It is one and the same of previous. And here we were using static methods. Come on, these are the static methods. Here we are using a constructor. All headers we can store in a single object. Come on. All response headers we can store in a single object. Then supply that single object as a second argument to constructor. Try giving a call to 11, you'll get same output. Without restarting, we are making a call to 11. That is why same counter. It is not resetting from 0. Both are there in the same object. Come to the service 12. Guys, everybody. Already we have seen file upload. Now let us see file download. Downloading a file from the server through REST API. Downloading a file from the server through REST API. Come on guys, service 2. What we are doing here, we are specifying application.properties file. Come on. We are adding one header, content hyphen disposition. It is mainly for downloading purpose. We are telling to the browser, I am sending a file to you. That instruction can be provided through content hyphen disposition. Content hyphen disposition. Content hyphen disposition. You can specify attachment along with the file name. Come on. Then afterwards, get the input stream, supply that input stream, supply that input stream as a response body. Now response body is the input stream which is containing specified file. Which is containing specified file. Very simple guys. Not only file you have to supply through body. You should specify one header also to the browser stating that I'm sending attachment with a file name as this. This can be provided through content-disposition. Then only browser will be giving one pop-up window to provide a save or cancel. Come on. Whenever you are downloading, browser has to provide one pop-up window. Whenever you are downloading, browser has to provide one pop-up window. That pop-up window can be provided by the browser because of content-disposition. Content-disposition is one of the response header which is used to instruct to the browser. I am sending attachment. Give a pop-up window to the customer. Let him to save or cancel or open. So here, this is the input file. That file content is storing in the body. Come on. Body is the resource. What is the resource? Input stream. Specify the file. Which file we are considering? Application.properties. Any file can be considered from the application. You can go for downloads folder. In the downloads folder, you can keep any files. Refer the same folder along with the files. I am just showing example purpose application.properties file. You can go for any file to download from your application. Content-disposition, attachment, file name. This is very much required everybody. So we are defining response entity with a OK status, headers object and a body with a input stream resource, whichever file you are trying to download. Let's go for 12th one. Guys, everybody. File download is very simple. You can see dialog box, save or cancel. This is just because of content-disposition. Observe this point. Because of content-disposition, browser providing a pop-up window to choose the location to where downloading file is saving. Downloading file should save. Otherwise, you can go for cancel. In case of file upload, lot of things are there. File download, only one thing you have to consider. That is response header content-disposition. Come to the 13th one. You can create one downloads folder. Inside that, keep any image file or Word document or Excel sheet. Downloading explicitly. Let me create downloads folder in the static folder. Generally, in the static folder only, we will be managing uploads and downloads. Generally, we will be managing uploads and downloads inside a static folder. Go to the static folder, everybody. Guys, you know very well. SRC main resources. Right click on static folder. Go to the new. Select a folder. You can create any folder name. I'm choosing downloads. Inside the downloads, you can keep any file. Come on. Let me copy Lara logo itself. In the downloads folder, I'm keeping one file. You need to restart. We modified content of our project. Try restarting, everybody. Go for 13. You can see Lara logo is coming. You can save any file. From the server, we can download any file into the local box, local system, just because of content hyphen disposition. Content hyphen disposition is very important. Response headers. I used a few headers only here. Lot more headers are there. Based on your requirement, you can keep using those headers. Very frequently using headers I have used. So from now onwards, don't return a string alone. Return response entity by storing a string inside a response entity along with the status code, and if at all any headers are there. Headers are optional. Whenever headers are there, store the headers in the response entity. From now onwards, return response entity, not the string alone, not the array list alone, not the person object alone.
Hello, sir.
This is all about
Sir,
response entity. Let us move to the next topic.